Hello, my dear Miss V. How are you doing? And my lovely boy, Eric.
Hi,
I,
Mama. And I
I
say, hey.
I love you. Your hair looks beautiful, Veronica. I don't know about your hair, Eric. Maybe it does,
Eric,
maybe it doesn't.
Eric says, do you mean mine? Do you mean mine? He says.
Yeah, right. I don't think it ever, rarely saw a comb in that hair when he was here. So,
Yeah, it's a wild mess.
I say when he was alive, but actually, when you think about it, Eric, you're probably more alive now than you
Yes,
were when you were here. So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Sorry, my hair's
And he
wet.
loves that I was in his bedroom.
Oh, cool.
I think
Awesome.
he's being weird though. I don't know.
No. Um,
No.
all right, so before we go on, first of all, please hit the subscribe button, guys, because I really want to get to the 100,000 subscriber market. I don't really know what that means, but they say it's good. I don't know. Also, I will say it at the end too, but since not everybody waits to the end, you guys write down veronicadrake.com and go check out what she has to offer. It's a lot more than just readings. She has her School of Spiritual Arts. And what else do you want to share, Veronica, before we get
I
into it?
actually, you know what? It's called the Connect membership. I'm teaching people how to do psychic and mediumship work with amazing results. And I'm also offering soul sessions where I sat down one morning, had my coffee, and Spirit said soul sessions. I started writing, and it's introducing people to their soul frequency. And so
Wow.
when you sent me the list of, what do you want to talk about? What we're going to talk about today just dovetails so perfectly. And Erik is saying it's no coincidence.
Oh, nothing is.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool because Eric, somebody told me they want me to talk about, well, I'll write what she says. Healing, I think it's a girl. Healing goes beyond the physical. It can and does include mental, emotional well-being, and spiritual clarity. I believe that healing should be treated as one holistic whole, not just sections separate from other sections. Oh, I totally agree. Even as a physician, how can we all in our homes and even hospitals, hospices, care homes, and other institutions bring some spiritual essence and healing into these places so people can be and feel the goodness that spirituality brings to them? Maybe one way of doing this is to do something simple, like painting the walls with warm, uplifting colors instead of cold, sickly colors. Another thing, which may or may not go down well, depending on people's outlook on life, is to bring mediums into these places, especially hospices. But I don't know if this would be a benefit and sensible. So, you've got the floor, Eric, and you too, Veronica, to share what can we do to step outside this compartmentalization that Western medicine has created for how we approach the health of the four roommates: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Take it away.
So one of the things that I always find interesting, and I'm always astounded by this, we're going to do something and we'll get our energy in alignment with something. And then all of a sudden, everything lines up to support that. And so, you and I, we've talked about this before. We do not, me at least, I do not know questions that are going to be asked. I might know the general broad topic, but I don't know questions. And so obviously I can't research the answers. But when I do hear the topic, I sit and I let things flow into me. Now, I'm sitting and I knew the topic was going to be, I don't even remember, alternative healing or ways to heal or something. I don't even remember the type, what it was called. And I'm sitting here and I heard a name come in and I thought,
Wow.
I don't know that name. Who is this guy? So I hear Ivan Stransky.
Huh.
You ever hear of Ivan Stransky?
Never in my life.
Me either. So, I'm sitting here and I go over to the old Google and I research Ivan Stransky. Now, this was last night.
Yeah.
And it turns out he's a physicist, a chemist, and he had something to do, and this is going to show my stupidity, but he had something to do with the expansion and the growth, proving it, of crystals.
Oh, is he
So,
alive?
no, this was in the
Oh.
1800s. I mean, he was a
Oh.
Belgian And so I heard, and then I heard him come in. Like he just started talking to me, and I am Ivan, and So that was a whole nother conversation, but it all leads to where we're going today. So
Right. And I want Erik to bring, hopefully, Ivan in if he's willing to speak. But I also want to back up and ask you, Veronica, this whole thing about connecting to your soul frequency. What does that mean? Does that mean connecting to your higher self? Or what does it exactly mean?
So it's interesting because we are and you know this, and our viewers probably know this, we are energy.
Oh, yeah, everything is.
Everything is energy. And so the way that we got created was, energy banged into something and it created matter. Simplistic way of saying it, but and voila, here we are. And so if you understand that we are energy, you have to understand that you cannot, and our viewer wrote in very beautifully, you cannot simply pay attention to the physical body.
Yeah.
It won't work.
Yeah.
And so if you look at your fingerprints, they are unique. No one has the same fingerprints. No one has the same soul frequency.
Yeah.
None. And Erik is going on and on. And Erik and I've talked about this, but we've never labeled it quite like this. And he said, if, he's telling me that if we're going to heal, truly heal, not just Band-Aid heal, we have to get back to basics. And in our case, basics is the soul.
All right. So we talk about the frequency is unique for each person, but of course, I'm sure that the frequency of our soul takes a nosedive if we're sad or upset, and goes up when we're feeling joy. Is that true?
Yeah. Erik says another word that we could think about for frequency is vibration.
Oh, vibration.
So think about if you're feeling depressed, your vibe is clearly very low. If you're feeling, let's just say, I'm use the example of my grandson's baby feed or the birth of my grandson. Those of us that are grandparents, we just know that just elevates us,
Yeah.
And that's like the joy. So you have joy and you have fear. You have love and you have fear. So on that spectrum, as humans, we have the ability to experience every emotion in between. Emotion, energy in motion, Erik just said. Emotion.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we have to get maybe not too scientific, but we have this big electromagnetic spectrum where you have every single frequency, and X-rays, radio waves, cosmic waves, but we're on such a tiny sliver called the visible range, and that's where the 3D world is. That's where matter is. That's where we can see things, and of course we vibrate within that. But if we get depressed, like I was after Erik died so much, then our vibrational frequency goes way down to the lower part of that. And it's no coincidence that we say things like, I'm feeling low, I'm feeling depressed. So, and the opposite, I feel high as a kite, all that stuff when you get to but is your unique soul frequency / fingerprint, is there a baseline, like a neutral from which you can vibrate? Okay. So is that what you are trying to help people learn to find?
And if you think about it like this, everybody has their own unique soul frequency, and frequency of the soul is love. And so here's how you tell your baseline. You look at feelings are the language of the soul. Okay.
Oh, yes.
So we will think our way through life, okay, because that's what we're taught. What do you think about this, right? But if you're really going to work with your soul and you're going to heal your body, which ultimately then radiates out and heals everybody else, you're going to have to get in tune with your feelings.
What do you feel about, how do you feel about this instead of, yeah.
What do you feel about it? And so they have proven scientifically at a cellular level, there's the nucleus, and then there's a lot of space between the outer part of it. That empty space in there, when we vibrate at a low frequency, such as depression or anger or frustration, it fills up that cell and it gets like this. And then
Oh,
it's vibrating so low because there's nowhere for the energy to go, that it creates dis-ease, disease in the body.
yes. Yeah, and that's the biology of belief by Bruce Lipton. We can
Mhm.
actually change our DNA even with our
Totally.
feelings, our beliefs, our emotions. All right, so
Mhm.
do you want to bring in Ivan?
So you know what? Eric says we can try. I mean, I just met him surfacely, like I don't know anything
Well,
about
okay,
him.
well,
So
what do you think we should do, Eric, to talk about how, what we should do
Eric
to
says
bring
let's.
about new healing in the, to not just compartmentalize Western medicine type with the body itself. You can talk about it too if you like, but go ahead. You
So
lead the way.
Eric says the first place we have to start is with the individual. It
Yes.
has to be realized that the individual has all the power to take control. When the individual gets stuck in the I can't, I should, I have to, but this is how it's always been, but they have control over me. Eric is saying, think about what that does. It sends you down the rabbit hole of vibration.
Mm,
And so if you're going to, number one, begin to heal yourself, and Eric is also saying, no matter where you are on the spectrum of dis-ease or disease, you have the ability to heal yourself. Now, there's going to be varying degrees of healing yourself, but you may get to the point where, let's just say you have a stomach issue,
yeah.
let's say. And so we know historically that the energy center is a chakra and it's the solar plexus. And so we know, because Eastern medicine has shown us, let's look at that chakra in there and let's look at our center of self-esteem. So Eric says it's about dissecting, he says not literally, the human and the human aura field. Okay, because our aura is what emanates out from us, and our aura is our chakra system come to life. Okay, so he says that if we're going to accept the fact that we are today's physicians, and Edison said, the physician of the future. Oh, I don't hear you. You must be on
I
mute.
might be working my way out of a job. I hit the mute button accidentally. All right,
There
good.
you go.
We are our own physicians. That is,
Mm-hmm.
and physician heal thyself too.
Absolutely. And Edison said the physician of the future, the doctor of the future, is not going to rely on medicine. Now, some people will say, well, we have chiropractors. And Eric says, yes, because what the chiropractor does is keeps the meridians, the energy fields flowing
That's true.
from impingement. But we are creators. If you think about it, we are an extension of what created us. We are creators.
Yes, we are a whole and part of God. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
I don't know about you, but I created a couple of babies. I feel like a creator.
yeah. Me
I mean,
too.
if we have that power, why do we think we don't have the power to heal ourselves? So where healing begins, Eric said, is in the mind.
Mm-hmm. And in the heart. But see,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really hard for people. I mean, we're so used to blaming outside external forces for bringing pain into our life. And so I think the first thing we have to do is be extremely emotionally honest with ourselves and say, hey, I did this to myself. Okay, I'm blaming other forces, but it's me. But guess what? Me and I alone have the power to undo all this. I'm not going to rely on outside forces to bring their power in. No, I got all I need. But that takes Really, that takes vulnerability and emotional honesty with oneself.
But a lot of people, we're not taught. There isn't a class for that. And so there's four components. There is truth, there is release, there is surrender, and then there is experience. Okay, so it's truth, release, surrender, experience. When you go through those four steps and you first start out with truth, the truth of your life, that's where, think of it like this. When you say truth, boom, like energy takes off. It vibrates at a very high level, because most of us have walked around our whole life just hiding and shrinking from the truth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So right away, the minute that you have a safe space, and you can do this in the privacy of your own home, you can work with a soul specialist. The minute you say truth, you free yourself and you begin a whole new dance.
And the truth shall set you free, of course.
Amen.
Yeah,
And
amen.
that's really what it is.
Yeah, and that truth sometimes comes with, or does come with, being emotionally honest with oneself.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
otherwise,
there's
it's going to be too hard to dig and find that truth if you have all these excuses and rationalizations and self-denial and all that stuff.
And blame, if you want to look at it, just feel the word blame.
Yeah, it makes you feel icky inside, doesn't it?
Blame, and then just feel the word dance.
Mm-hmm.
So right away, you have a gauge inside of your body. It's called your soul, your feelings, on where you should be. What is your frequency? So right now, if I say to you, how are you feeling? And you give me a word on how you're feeling, there's a benchmark. There's where you are right now.
That might be a good way
people,
to. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
That's probably a good way to practice sort of understanding how you feel things, like say something that is a word that you don't like, and then see how that feels in your heart chakra or solar plexus or wherever you feel it. I guess everybody's different. And then think about things that are, high vibrational, and just sort of learn and get accustomed to the feelings, so you're able to go forward in the world, not just thinking your way through life, but feeling your way through life. Are you there? Recording, but I got cut out. I don't know what happened, guys, but
I just kept going.
oh geez. Well, anyway, the last thing I heard was when I said you can either thinking your way through life or feeling your way through life. So what happened after that? Because I don't know if it was recorded or not. Probably not.
You know what, Eric, we were just going on and on about entering the age, the energetic age. We've come from, the industrial age, the digital age, we're coming into the energetic age where Eric has always said to me, by 2020, it's going to be very mainstream that we trust and work from our sixth sense as opposed to our five senses. Our five senses are going to be a complement to our sixth sense instead of it being the other way around. And as we walk into that age, into that era, we're all going to be our own physicians, because we're all going to trust our body. Recently, over the last couple of years, maybe the year and a half, 2 years, I heard that the way for me to get a clearer connection was to detox my body. And so I went on this mission of, I'll be honest with you, kind of proving it wrong. Because I thought, well, I'm a good psychic. What difference does it matter what I feed my body, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so I was wrong because what I put in my body and how I shaped my body with healthy habits has increased my energy flow.
That I hear that's so much the case. So that's good.
And it really has, taken my physicality, which at 57 years old, I'm not trying to wear clothes of an 18-year-old or trying to attract anybody. I truly want optimal health so that I
Yeah.
can move forward. And as a diabetic who came off 4 diabetes medicines,
Oh gosh.
IBS, I'm telling you, honoring the body
Okay, well,
works. And Erik
Erik,
is like,
yeah, Erik, tell us, and Veronica can share too. The first step probably is changing your lifestyle, detoxing, changing your diet. You want to talk about that? I mean, that's the first step to being your own physician.
Erik says the first thing you have to do is be aware of what's happening in your life, and hence the first step, truth.
Right.
Okay? Because you might be in a relationship or a job or a financial situation or a health crisis that you are still blaming someone else for. And
Yeah.
that right there is not truth. And that's
Right.
going to keep you stuck. I'm in this situation because of choices I've made.
Right.
Right
We have to,
there.
with that you have to feel that. Also, well, so you then the truth about what you put in your mouth and stuff, that's important too. So what kind of detox do you recommend, and what kind of diet do you recommend, Erik, or is everybody different?
So Erik says, number one, he says, we're not going down a rabbit hole with this, but we are going to show a correlation between keeping us sick and big pharma and big money.
Oh God, yeah.
He
They
said
want you to be
it is,
sick. They want to sell more medicines.
he said,
Uh-oh, you froze.
they don't.
Okay.
Our doctors don't know how to do that. They know how to prescribe and give a pill, you know, probably a $10 pill that's
Yeah.
going to XYZ. But once you leave your doctor's office, what are you going to do to manage the vibration and the frequency? So Erik says the first thing we want to do is become aware of our life. And the question you can ask yourself is, what's working in my life? What's not working in my life? Now, it could be anything. For some people, it's going to be money. For some people, it's going to be relationship. For some people, it's going to be their diet, their
Right.
health. Erik says, become aware of what's not working, tell the truth about it, and then find the courage to do one thing differently.
Yeah. Baby steps.
Baby steps.
Like
He
stop
says,
processed
because
sugar. Like that could be one thing.
yeah,
Or
you
stop.
can't peel
Yeah.
everything all at once. You can't
No.
peel it all away at once. It's layers. It's layers.
Can you just improve your diet, or do you need to detox also? And if so, how do you detox?
Well, Erik says for me to share my story and experience on this. I quit sugar cold turkey. Now, for me, there's no other way. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was sick. It was
Oh
like I
wow.
had it was like cut off. I was addicted to Xanax and Percocet in my 20s, so I understand what it is when you
Yes,
stop
withdrawal.
something.
Yeah.
It's like coming off those.
Uh-oh, you froze. It's showing that you have bad internet. I don't know why. Uh-oh. Now we both
Past it.
froze. We both froze. What is going on? It shows red bars on you like you have bad internet.
Oh, I'm not seeing it. I don't know. I'm a direct connection. So, oh
Okay.
man,
Oh, don't worry about it. We'll get through.
that
No
stinks.
problem. No, it's okay. I got you. And go ahead.
So you want to create an awareness around it. You want to begin to know your body. And Erik says to know your body, you want to eliminate foods. And then as you begin to feel better, you can reintroduce them if you want to. Like he says, dairy, meats, if you want to do that, fats, if you want to look at it like that from that
Then
perspective.
it's, if you take away, like if you feel good when you take away all these things and you reintroduce dairy and you start feeling bad again, then, to keep that out of your
Mhm.
diet. That's that sort of thing.
For me, it's gluten. I
Yeah.
haven't had I haven't had gluten in almost 2 years, or very, very, very limited amounts. And
Yeah.
when I came to Texas, we ate Tex-Mex. I mean, we ate all the chips and the fajitas, and I was sick. I was,
Yeah. Oh man. Oh yeah, I remember. Oh
yep.
gosh. Oh boy. So what is a good diet that's keto
So
diet?
Eric,
Is that
so Eric
gluten
says that
free? No. No, it isn't. I don't think. I don't
it
know.
can't be. Eric says go back to the earth,
Mm.
go back to basics. Stop looking, and he's funny because he says, I'd be the first person to tell you I'll eat a whole pizza. But the truth is, you can eat a pizza. You just have to have it in moderation. So everything in moderation. Your body is designed to take care of itself, to do
Yeah.
everything it needs to do. Am I
That's right.
still breaking up?
No, it's fine. So, so then, okay, so we got diet and all that kind of, we talked about that. So then what? What else? I mean, truth. What comes after that?
So then there's a release that happens. Once you tell the truth, you begin to release energy, toxicities. It's almost like a purification, like a cleansing, okay? And then you want to be able to surrender. I have found that to surrender is to raise your vibration, because you're replacing it with a high vibration as you're letting it go.
Yeah.
Okay. So raising your vibration might look like, for some people, it might be taking a walk. For others, it might be having a fresh vase of flowers on the table. Maybe it's going out in the sunshine. Maybe it's spending time with your grandkids, raising your vibration. Here's the other thing: sound therapy, frequency. They have shown when the body vibrates at a certain frequency, the cold comes on. Cancer has its own frequency.
Ooh.
Influenza has its frequency. So to know your body's frequency is to know you're going to get sick or be well. I don't know how you measure it. I'm sure there's people out there or tools out there that can do that.
Oh, I'm
But
sure.
I always be on the high side of it, keep
Yeah.
your vibration up. You talk about painting your room a different color. I recently painted my room a very beautiful, pale, soft gray. It's like an oasis. I
Oh,
have all kind
nice.
of art in there, and it's just very therapeutic.
Yeah. And it's different for everybody, I'm sure.
Go ahead.
So is there a particular, like there's something called the happiness frequency, is that kind of a high frequency? And maybe we should listen, like go to YouTube or iTunes or whatever and find that and listen to it X number
Well,
of minutes per day or what?
in in my soul sessions, I actually have purchased, because they're expensive, but I've purchased for my clients different frequencies that they can use for different areas of their life. And
Oh,
so
wow.
part of the therapy in a soul session with me is you are listening to this certain frequency. You're doing your meditation towards it, with it, and you're actually raising your vibration and I think there's 6 or 7 different areas that you
Oh,
can
well,
raise
that's
your vibration.
fascinating. And I'm sure there's all science behind it. Yeah. So, oops, you froze. I'll wait for, let me wait for a little bit till you come back on. Uh-oh. Okay, what about crystals, Veronica? Hmm. Um, so I don't know what recording again. All right, God, I don't know what's going on, people. Maybe Eric's messing with us, but we're gonna have to wrap this up before we get cut off again. Uh-oh, are you muted?
I don't think so,
Oh no,
am
no,
I?
good, good, good. No, you're good.
Maybe Ivan Stransky has something to do with this.
Oh, okay, Ivan, please, if you're doing something with your energy, But just real quickly, and we'll have a part 2. That's fine. But let's close off by saying anything else. I mean, there's acupuncture, there's crystals. We talked about paint colors, etc. And Ivan, of course, he's into crystals, so maybe he was.
Painting, raising your vibration. A great way to do that, I can show you over my shoulder back
Oh
here.
yeah.
Really cool pastels that I painted. Creativity is the #1 way to raise your vibration.
Yes, because that is how the soul expresses itself, of course. So, okay, no, wait, back to is there a certain frequency? Of course, we can learn that through soul session for you, but is there a certain frequency that we can find on YouTube or iTunes that could, like the happiness frequency I hear there is, or?
Frequency of love is 528 megahertz.
Oh, so I guess you can play around with different frequencies, see which one just sings to your heart, right?
And I don't have it right here because I'm waiting for it to come. I ordered a crystal singing bowl.
Oh yes, yes, those are amazing.
My friend had one, and I got it in F. I think it's F, which is the heart. Is it the heart?
Oh.
I don't remember. Crystal singing bowls, and they're not expensive.
Yeah, they're takes some a little bit of a learning curve to learn how to do it. And I was taught that you pick out the one that feels good to you, right? The frequency.
The brass bowls. Yeah. The brass bowls. I can't grasp the brass bowls. I don't know how to make the brass.
I know, me neither. Is there another type? Because I had a hard time.
Crystal.
Oh, crystal. Cool. And so what do you do, like 5 minutes twice a day, or is there, just...
Listen, when I experienced the crystal bowl that my girlfriend had, and it was the root chakra, I'm not even kidding you. She hit that thing and she went around. I could feel my teeth vibrate. Like,
wow.
Every inch of me was vibrating, and it hit my root chakra, and I thought, whoa, my God, I could feel cleansing and clearing.
Ooh. Well, so what do you get, a whole set? I mean, how do you know how to use, which bowl?
You could get a whole set, but here's what I would tell you to do. Look online on Amazon, they're crystal singing bowls, okay? And you can get, every chakra has a frequency, okay? This is a thing. And so look at your life. Go back to telling the truth.
Yes.
Where do I have the most hurt in my life? Maybe you'll say, it's things I haven't said to people I want to say.
That'd be throat, right?
Exactly.
What about being betrayed? That's probably heart. Is that heart or root?
Betrayed, what I would think would be the heart. If you lack security, root.
What about solar plexus?
If you feel like insecure, you feel like you don't fit in, you feel like no one loves you, you feel like you're not good enough. Yep.
So yeah, we can Google and learn about these things, but hey, that's a great idea for Christmas presents or holiday gifts, whatever.
I'll be getting them to incorporate in the soul sessions.
That is so cool. So we got truth, release, surrender is the next, and then experience. So can you briefly talk about surrender?
So surrender is, think about it. We're like a dog with a bone, with our habits and our ways of being. And so once you see the truth of something, right, and then you've made a commitment energetically to release it, you have to just surrender to what comes. And you might want to also think of that as living in the flow, being in the moment.
Right. Not resisting. What you resist persists. Yeah, you don't want to fight upstream. Just but that's hard. I mean, how do you do it? Okay, I'm just gonna surrender. It's like, okay, I'm still thinking about this, I'm still thinking about that. How do you do it?
And it's conscious choice. What I teach in these soul sessions is this, and this is gonna get a lot of people like this, but life is neutral. Okay.
Yeah.
Life is not going, oh, I'm going to kick the shit out of her, and then we're going to come back and life is just being life. Life is going. your reaction to life.
That is what kicks you in the ass.
Right.
Oh, I love that. That
When you
is,
learn, when you learn through a soul session, life gets different.
that's true. And then you have experience. That's
Experience.
the fourth one. Tell us
Then
about that.
you must live it, breathe it, and take it out. It's like pushing it out. You're experiencing it. All that you're putting out there will come back at you.
Can
And
you give me an example?
so in other words, I felt for years like a victim. I felt unloved. I felt unworthy. And so I did my work. I looked at my truth, and maybe what I looked at as truth, I was looking at it from a different perspective. So I just went in a little bit deeper, and then I learned to surrender. I wasn't going to force anybody to do anything in my life, or
Good.
anybody to do anything in my life. And then I had to go out and I had to treat everyone like that.
Yeah. And you also have to live life, not just with the intellectual knowledge that we are all one, we're whole and part of God, we're one collective, but also live life and make choices with that knowledge. So, and I think that will make us our own physicians. And it's not like, okay, take an aspirin to call me in the morning. No, it is like, that sounds great. I think we maybe need a part two, but
Mhm. We
what
can
about
get more.
crystals? Are crystals important in making, in healing our body? And
I'll tell you, this is funny because I would be like, I was like this, crystal smishtal. I don't do crystal. And then I don't know if it was a dream or I was awake or whatever. And all of a sudden, all these crystals were falling on me. And it was like, oh, you want me to learn about crystals?
wow, yeah.
And I got this education where they're real living things.
Yes, they're energy, they're vibrating energy. Right.
I know. I thought they were rocks. So
Yeah.
anyway, I have a crystal room.
Oh my gosh, you really did go the other direction. That's
I'm
awesome.
telling you, it changed everything for me. It did. It
So,
really did.
Eric, do you recommend that we learn how to make crystal grids, or how can we find out what crystals and, if important, what formation we need to put them in order to help heal ourselves?
So
But,
Eric says the first thing,
or,
keep it.
or to line up, I'm sorry, line up those 4 roommates you talk about.
Okay. So Eric says, let's keep it super simple for people out there. The first thing you want to do is just honor the body. Go straight down the body. Find the 7 crystals that you can get. If you don't have crystals, he says, and you're not you don't have a lot of money, you don't have to break the bank. Just go find some crystals that align crown, third eye, throat, and go right down the body, 7 of them. Put them in a line and just hold one at a time and ask for revelation, insight on that crystal. You might start by asking, what's the truth of my throat chakra?
Wow, interesting. I think on Amazon you can get sets of, for, 7, one for each chakra. So check
And
that
so,
out. And I don't really think they're very expensive.
no, and people say this, like I met a fabulous crystal guy. I did a live event out in Gettysburg, and this crystal guy, Merlin's Crystals, his name is Tony, the most knowledgeable man I ever met. But here's what I heard, and from Erik. Yes, we want good crystals. Yes, we want the vibration of the good crystals, but equally as important is our intention and our belief behind the stone. So maybe you'll go on Amazon, maybe you'll get a man-made manufactured one, as long as you infuse it with the intention for it to do what it needs to do, that's good enough. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah, or you can go like, there's a great crystal shop in Galveston that I go to, and you can just sort of feel each, find one that really feels right for you also. But you do have to clean it, right? Like put it in the sunlight or the full moon, whatever, or just say you are now clean. Just put that in tin out there, bury it in salt for a while. I
Yeah.
don't know.
You know what, sunlight, also I put them in the full moon, but I also do the same for my body,
Yeah, yeah.
however I honor my body, I will honor my crystals.
That is awesome. I think that we'll close now, but I really think that we need Ivan Stansky to come in, and you and Ivan can, and Erik can talk about how to use crystals in our life. You want to do it?
Awesome.
That'd be
Absolutely.
fun. And yeah, we could talk about the soul frequency also. I think that'd be a cool radio show.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Ivan, if you're still there. Thank you, Veronica. Y'all can check her out at veronicadrake.com, which I'll put right here. Hit the subscribe button, please. And Erik, my baby, I love you so much. Come by and visit.
He loves you.
I
Bye-bye.
love you too. This is going to be a splicer, this one. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.